All right, today we're diving into a really interesting new AI model from the Allen Institute. It's called Olmo Hybrid 7B. But, this isn't just another model hitting the scene. It's actually a pretty big statement about what the word open should really mean in the world of AI. So let's get into it. I mean, we hear the term open source thrown around all the time, right? But in AI, what does that usually mean? Well, most of the time, it just means you get the final model weights. That's it. But what if open went way, way further? What if it meant you could see literally everything that went into creating the model from day one? And right here, this is the fundamental difference. Think of it like this. Most open models, they give you the keys to a finished car. Olmo, on the other hand, gives you the keys to the entire factory. You don't just get the model weights, you get the training data, all the code, the evaluation logs, and every single checkpoint along the way. That means anyone can actually reproduce the model completely from scratch. And that's a rare and powerful thing. It lets researchers really get under the hood and understand how these things learn, and, just as importantly, where their flaws come from. Okay, so how does this thing actually work? The clue is right there in the name, hybrid. It uses a really clever architecture that's designed to be both powerful and super efficient. So most models you've heard of, like Llama for instance, they use a mechanism called attention in every single layer. Attention is amazing, but it has a catch. It gets really slow and eats up a ton of memory when you're working with long documents. Olmo Hybrid does something totally different. It has 32 layers, but get this, only 8 of them, just 25%, actually use attention. The other 75% use a faster, more efficient mechanism called DeltaNet. And the way it's put together is almost like clockwork. There's this repeating pattern, 3 DeltaNet layers, then 1 attention layer. Then it just repeats that cycle over and over. This simple, rhythmic structure is the secret sauce to its performance. And trust me, the difference it makes is huge. So what do you get from this hybrid approach? A massive efficiency gain. Olmo can process long documents 75% more efficiently than a pure attention model of a similar size. And it does this without taking a major hit to its overall performance. That's pretty impressive. Now, having a pre-trained model is kind of like having a brain that's packed with raw knowledge. But to be useful, it needs to be refined. Olmo goes through a 2-stage fine-tuning process to turn it into a much better assistant. The first stage is called supervised fine-tuning, or SFT. This is basically teaching the model how to follow instructions, teaching it what to do. But the second step, direct preference optimization, or DPO, is where things get really cool. This is more advanced. The model is shown 2 different answers and learns to pick the better one. It's essentially teaching the model to have good taste. And just so you know, the version we're about to test has been through this DPO process. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty and see how this thing actually performs on some real-world tasks. We're going to stress test its coding, its math, and its language skills. First up, we gave it a seriously complex coding challenge. We're talking dynamic styling, timers, chart rendering, all crammed into a single HTML file. This is definitely not a simple hello world kind of request. And it absolutely nailed it. The model spat out a fully functional HTML file that did everything we asked for. This shows it has excellent instruction-following capabilities, which totally makes sense given that fine-tuning process we just talked about. It's a known strength of the Olmo models. Okay, next up, a standard math problem. This should be pretty straightforward for a model this size. But what's really interesting here isn't just the answer, but the way it gives the answer. So, first, the most important part, it got the answer right. Check. But just look at how it got there. It was incredibly verbose, laying everything out in 5 super detailed steps with all this complex formatting. This really suggests that it was trained heavily on step-by-step reasoning problems, which makes it feel the need to show its work in excruciating detail, even when a simple answer would have been fine. All right, for our final test, we're looking at creative language. This is a very simple constraint task. Can the model follow a very specific rule in its writing? And here, it was a total whiff. It completely failed. Not a single sentence actually ended with the word happy. The word was sprinkled in there, sure, but it didn't follow the core instruction at all. This is a really clear sign that creative language tasks are a definite weak spot. So, after putting it through its paces, what's the final verdict? Let's sum up what Olmo Hybrid is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't. One thing I really appreciate is that its creators are very transparent about the limitations. It's English only. It's not great at using external tools or making function calls. And its knowledge is already a bit out of date, with a cutoff in early 2024. These are really important things to keep in mind if you're thinking about using it. And this quote from the source really just gets to the heart of what Olmo is all about. Look, it's not built to go head-to-head with the latest and greatest closed-source giants. Its real power, its real value, is as a base model for other people to build on top of, and as a fantastic educational tool, a glassbox AI that lets anybody see exactly how the engine works. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As the whole industry is in this frantic race for bigger and better performance, Olmo makes us stop and ask a really important question. In the long run, what's the true value of being able to open up the hood, understand every part of the engine, and maybe even build it yourself? Definitely something to think about.